So Julian Sayin and Lincoln Kienholz are battling for that quarterback one spot. Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Buckeyes and really take the helm in another season of Ryan Day being the head coach? But outside of that, a lot of unknowns, a lot of questions, a lot of changes. And this is, of course, relative to Ohio State. I'm never going to say that Ohio State won't be a top 10 team, barring something disastrous or unforeseen, as long as you tell me that Ryan Day is the head coach and the team didn't tragically die in a plane crash, for example. And I want to look at Julian Sayin first and foremost. That's who I want to look at, because Julian Sayin is expected to win this job by many. Many right now are saying he's pulling away. In fact, if you read between the lines from Ohio State's fall camp reports, regardless of who is reporting on Ohio State's fall camp, the consensus at quarterback is, hey, Sayin's pulling away here. And whether or not Day is going to name him the starter or not this week or next week or the day before kickoff, Sayin is the guy. That's what I'm hearing. That's what many people are hearing. That is what I'm reading with my own two eyes. Sayin is 6'1", 203 pounds. He was a 98 overall rated recruit in the 2024 class, really only behind Dylan Raiola there in the same class, obviously, as DJ Lagway. Unlike Lagway and Raiola, he didn't play. Why? Because his team was a national championship team last year, literally, not just a contender. They won it all, and they had a veteran, Will Howard, who took the reins and did a phenomenal job in the playoffs. Before we resume this segment, please take a few seconds of your time to make sure you have liked the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and for any team podcasts and playlists linked in the description, and also comment your thoughts down below in the comment section and join my Discord server via the description. All of those things I just asked you to do are completely free, and they sign you up for things related to my channel, or they don't sign you up for anything. No cost to you, and all the benefit to you because we release daily college football content here on College Football with Sam. If you want to support the channel monetarily, sign up for a YouTube membership or check any other links in the description for my merchandise store and Patreon page. Thank you very much, and let's get back to the segment. They didn't need him to start to have any hope of winning big games, such as Florida or Nebraska did in 2024. Sayin has very limited experience. He saw limited action in 2024, wasn't all sunshine and roses, and he was the third stringer behind Devin Brown. But nonetheless, I think that the 5 of 12, about 40 completion percentage, and only 84 yards and touchdown, that's too small of a sample size to judge as to whether or not those poor numbers are him or are just a result of having very limited action. And I would think it's the latter. I've already been open in saying that he'll be probably a mid-tier Big Ten quarterback during kickoff or at kickoff, and by the end of the year, he will be in the upper echelon of Big Ten quarterbacks. You have to trust Ryan Day with that. You have to trust the supporting cast, the assessment and evaluations done by multiple recruiting analysts, and those evaluations only get more accurate over time. Sayin's strengths are his quick release, a good arm, accuracy. Saban has praised him before and obviously wanted him to be his future quarterback at Alabama. Things didn't pan out that way, so after really only spending a week or maybe a few weeks with Alabama, he transferred to Ohio State, which was another option. Ryan Day has recruited quarterbacks out of California before, and C.J. Stroud has been a phenomenal developer, so that was the connection. Sayin is not extremely mobile. He has shown elusiveness and awareness in the pocket, and he's not Kyle McCord statue-esque, but he's not as mobile as Howard. I would venture in saying he's probably not as mobile as Stroud, certainly not as mobile as Fields, and he's very, very inexperienced, very green. This is only his second year on campus, and the likelihood that he would be a C.J. Stroud caliber quarterback, we just don't know, to be frank. And since Stroud is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL right now and was the best passing quarterback probably in Ohio State history, to say that he will be at that level in year one is certainly bold, but we will have to see about that. Right now, he's the favorite. he's in the lead. However, I look at Lincoln Kineholz, and Kienholz is a player who's been with the Buckeyes for an additional year. He was a 94 overall player, top 100 player in the 2023 class, 6'3", 207 pounds. He hasn't played since the Cotton Bowl, where he looked like a disaster, but that was 2 years ago, and he wasn't really integrated in the system then. He was kind of thrusted in there after McCord opted out and went into the portal, and Devin Brown got hurt. Only has a 45.5 career completion percentage, 10 of 22 for 100 yards and about 5 yards per pass attempt. He's a dual threat quarterback. He has a good arm, some good traits, has elite potential, but as of right now, he's not better than really good at anything unless you want to count his rushing ability. I imagine that if he is the backup here, he will be involved some way, perhaps, in rushing packages, but we also saw in 2023 the claim that Devin Brown would be involved there, and even early on before he got hurt, he wasn't used all that much in that role, and they just elected to go with McCord, so I don't exactly know there. If he is the starter, I would imagine that that will certainly help Ohio State's rushing offense, which according to reports in a scrimmage has struggled recently, and it feels like the offensive line and defensive line are kind of now trading punches rather than the offensive line dominating the defensive line, which was the report earlier as fall camp really began. These are two talented young men who I think are each capable of leading a elite offense when you have Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, when you have Max Clare, and the potential they have at offensive line, running back, and then the myriad of play callers they could have, whether it's Hartline or Bowen, and I think Day is probably the best of them all, but since he's the head coach, he wants someone else to do it unless he has to. It's easier than at a lot of other places, but it's not easy regardless. Both of these quarterbacks are capable. I think that it's Sayin's job to lose. I think that he wins the job at the end of the day. I would be very surprised at this point if Kienholz ended up winning the starting quarterback job, and I think it is better for Ohio State that Sayin wins rather than Kienholz. I think that if Kienholz wins the job, there should be a little bit more concern than if Sayin wins the job. Not that you don't trust the staff. It's rather that the staff knows who's the best player, but Sayin's supposed to be the starter. Looking at his recruiting ranking, looking at the fact that he focused on football in high school, and Kienholz was a multi-sport athlete. And in the limited action we've seen, Sayin looked better as a true freshman, I believe, than Kienholz did as a true freshman. Now, to be fair, Kienholz played a really good Missouri team, again, to be fair, but Sayin is supposed to be the guy. I think that's why they brought him in, even when they already had Kienholz and Brown on the roster. And Sayin was ahead of Kienholz last year. Kienholz was the scout team quarterback. Sayin was the third stringer. So I think it would be a little bit of at least a yellow flag, if not a red flag, if Kienholz starts and Sayin doesn't. I do not think that Sayin is someone who lacks talent or the coaching staff to develop him. So I think that he will be developed into a great Ohio State and college football quarterback. He'll be the starter, and Lincoln Kineholz will be the backup. That's really the extent of my analysis when it comes to this quarterback battle, because Tavian St. Clair is a little bit too raw, a little bit too young right now, and I think that when you look at these two quarterbacks and look at how the staff wanted Sayin to come in, it was talked about last year by many, whether national analysts or Ohio State people and coaches, that his upside is limitless. The sky's the limit there, and he was already ahead of Kienholz. So I would be very shocked if Kienholz started. I think Sayin will walk out week 1 against Texas and be the starting quarterback at The Ohio State University. Thank you for watching College Football with Sam. Make sure that you've liked the video, subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell for the channel and team playlists and podcasts in the description, joined the free Discord server where we talk college football 24/7, and have commented your thoughts down below. Check out the description for any ways you can support the channel monetarily. Everything else I've asked you to do is completely free, and your support means the world to me. We're trying to become the next big thing on college football YouTube. 6-figure subscribers, maybe 1 million one day. I think we can do that. And also check out any videos or playlists, anything in these columns right here, where there will be videos and playlists. Yeah, you get the point. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.